I had already worked in the OR setting. The monotony, not really challenging my brain, made me seek more education. Me wanting more for myself, wanting to provide the care that I was wanting to provide, made me just step out on faith. Let me see the steps and things that I need to do to try to open my own practice. I always maintained that second PRN flexibility while I was building the practice. I had no clue or idea how I was going to get clients through the door. I'm always the first one here. I like to come in, get organized, listening to all my spiritual stuff before I get started. Gratitude of the day before the day starts. I don't worry about competition. I worry about myself.
Right.
I'm my own competition. The difference is the patient experience. Everybody who comes here feels like a family member. If you have a dream, go for it. I had so many people tell me this is not the time to open a practice. Everything has its struggles. Everything has its challenges. I don't let other people's beliefs sit on my shoulders. Get out there, try, keep going.
Welcome to Unsung, the podcast powered by Duet, where we shine a light on the nurse practitioners who are breaking barriers, redefining healthcare, and proving that NPs aren't just the future, we're the now. I'm Dr. E, and in each episode, we'll uncover the untold stories of NPs across the country who are changing lives with their practices, making a real impact in their communities. Today's guest is Dr. Tamara Washington, NP, the heart behind Elite NP Clinic PLLC in Texas. She opened her practice back in 2018 because she wanted the freedom to care for patients her way, with independence and purpose. With over 10 years of NP experience, Tamara has built a growing family practice and wellness clinic that keeps attracting new patients every year. And here's what makes her stand out. Every decision she makes, both in business and in care, is grounded in her faith. Dr. Tamara Washington, I'm so excited that you're here with us.
So excited to be here. Thank you.
Of course. What state are you in?
I'm in Texas.
I couldn't tell from the accent. Just like you can't tell I'm from New York.
Right.
So, Tamara, before we get into your current business, I really want to hear about what made you decide to become a nurse practitioner.
I had already worked in the OR setting for a few years when I started working as an RN, and just the monotony and not really challenging my brain at that point made me seek more education.
Okay. So you decided to see more education. So then you went right into family?
Yes.
Okay. And so what was your first job when you got out of NP school?
It was working at the Minute Clinic, CVS Minute Clinic.
Okay. And how was that?
I loved it. I mean, the schedules were flexible. I did see a lot of patients, 20 to 30 a day independently. And it was routine cold and cough all day.
Routine cold and cough all day. But I'm sure you learned a lot, right? Because you're independent, you didn't have people to ask.
Exactly. So I had to learn a lot about time management. I had to learn, how to just be efficient with my documentation and just dealing with that high volume of clients at a time. So I think it did play a role in shaping my NP career.
Yeah, for sure. So then what made you is it from there that you went to open up your own spot, or did you do something in between?
I did something in between. So I went and worked in internal medicine.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And what was that like?
It was the chronic care. So I went from doing a lot of acute care to chronic care, merged those two things together, opened my own practice.
Honestly, that's such a great kind of trajectory there. Great learning, almost like in your own residency there.
Yeah.
And when you were in internal, were you primarily alone, or you had that ability to ask the MD questions?
There were two MDs that I worked with, so they were all in the office while I was seeing patients, unless they went on vacation and things like that. But I was pretty much independent, but I always had that resource in office if I needed to ask any questions.
Yeah, that's important because a lot of people when you're all alone, you don't have that. So
right.
What made you decide? What crazy reason did you decide I'm going to give up the security of a paycheck and go out on my own? What was that crazy moment?
To be honest, I wasn't even thinking about a paycheck when I decided to have my own practice. I went to NP school with that in the back of my brain, like I wanted to start my own practice when I get my degree. Um, the working conditions that I was working in at the time were not the best for me.
Mm.
Um, work life balance, all those types of things, and just the personalities in the office. So, me wanting more for myself, me wanting to provide the care that I wanted to you know, provide the care that I was wanting to provide and provide that patient experience that I wanted to provide made me just step out on faith. I'm like, okay, I'm doing this. Let me see the steps and things that I need to do to try to open my own practice.
So it wasn't about paycheck. You were like, I just want to do it my way.
Yeah.
Were you scared when you had this idea?
I never really had fear. I mean,
I
I
love
can't
that.
explain it. I don't know if it's like God ordained or, but I never really had fear. I had a lack of knowledge because I didn't know how to do it. But other than that, I was just like,
I
let's
love that.
see.
I have to say, I was the same way when I started. Maybe it's because I had no idea I wasn't scared.
Maybe.
Maybe I feel like I'm the Forrest Gump of things. Like I just kind of showed up and I was like, yeah, I got this. But I just felt very aligned with the universe and I was like, I don't know, let's give this a shot. And maybe you need to have a little bit of crazy, not scared kind of
Yeah,
faith to,
definitely.
to do these things. Okay, so you made this decision.
Hmm.
Did you like quit and then go? Did you like walk us through those first steps?
I tried to be smart about it. I tried to quietly, while I was still working, prepare to leave, give advance notice and things like that. But while I was getting my business together, I was quiet about it. So
Okay.
um, I was doing my credentialing and things like that while I was there. So I
You
wouldn't
had a
have to
spot.
do, hmm
You chose a spot already.
yeah.
And how did you choose that spot? Like, just randomly?
It was it was random. I feel like it was spirit led because I found it
Love,
on a Sunday in my
love,
neighborhood, and I
love.
was like, okay, let's try, let's call. So I called and qualified, and the rest is history.
Spirit led. Oh, I love that so much. Oh, I just got chills. Okay. So, oh, so good. So, spirit led, you found the spot, and like while
Hmm.
you were working, you were getting credentialing. So smart.
Yeah,
How many months were you doing it like that?
I would say I quit my job at the beginning of the year. I would say that year. And then it took me up to 6 months to really like find my spot, finish credentialing, get everything that I needed because I did a build out.
So, for six
And
months, you weren't working, and the other place wasn't up
I
yet.
wasn't working at that place.
Oh, there's a third spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I've done like urgent care, I've done teaching online and things like
Okay.
that.
So
So
you
I was
picked
able to
another,
fill it in. Yeah.
and that is most of our NPs will tell you that similar story. Like very few people are like, yeah, no problem. I don't need an income. I'm just going to go up here and stare at the walls.
Right.
Most of us have kept something. So you kept something along
Yes.
while you were doing that. So now you have this other job, this other side kind of hustle going on, urgent care. And meanwhile, you're painting stuff, cleaning up stuff, credentialing stuff. And then do you transition out or did you wait to see certain patients come in and then let go of the jobs? Like, how did you manage that transition?
I always maintained that second kind of PRN flexibility while I
Yes.
was building the practice because I had no clue or idea how I was going to get clients through the door.
That's awesome. And then at what point did you reach out to Duet? Like, how did you get involved here?
So years of being in practice, just wanting to
Oh, then
align.
later.
Yeah, much later.
Oh, okay. Wait, so we'll get to that. I'm just
Much
jumping because I don't know the
later.
order. Okay. So this is how many years ago, just so I get a sense of the order?
7 years.
Okay, so 7 years ago is when you make this jump.
Yes.
Not real sure. At what point did you finally give up that other job?
right when I decided, like when I found my location and I got my business name and all that kind of stuff, then I let that job go.
No, I mean like all the side stuff. Like when were you able to like just stay fully in the practice?
It was a couple of years into
Couple of
starting the
years.
practice. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. I would say a lot of people take a couple of years. So like, cause you have one patient, two patients. What was it when you hit the 100 mark? When you hit the five? Like what patient mark were you
Like,
from?
um, I would say when we're started to do like 200 a month, 200
200
patients a
visits.
month. Yeah.
200 visits a month is when you're like, okay, I can let this go.
Yes.
Okay. And I love that. It took you about a few years to do that. That makes sense.
Mhm.
That makes sense. Um, so now during this time, I'm trying to build this narrative of like these, I'm trying to see the narrative of like the first 3 years before you let go. Is it just you? Is there somebody answering the phone?
It was myself and one medical assistant.
Okay. So the two of you would be there when the office opened, and then you would do a per diem, and then it is
Come
what
back the next
come back.
day.
Come back the
Yeah.
next day. Yeah. One of our biggest practices in the network, she's an OBGYN. Not OB, she's a GYN. Sorry, GYN NP. And I remember when she started at night. She used to work in the day, then she started at night. And now, a few years later, she's on her second location. Yeah.
Amazing.
So, like, this is how it goes. And she also is very, very spirit led, taking care of the Black and Brown community in Brooklyn and Queens. So, love seeing these stories. Okay.
Yes.
So you're 3 years in, you're about 200 visits, and you're like, I got this. It's time to do this full time.
Yes.
And that was about 4 years ago.
Mhm.
So in the past 4 years, what has the growth been like? Like, how many patients are we up to a month now?
We are close to 400 patients a month. It's
Whoa.
still myself independently, and I'm not open 5 days a week.
Oh, okay. How many days a week are you open?
I only do 3.5.
3.5 days a week. Okay.
Yeah.
When you first started, what was the thing that kept you up at night?
I would say just that recurrent revenue that you need
Mm,
to pay your overhead expenses and things like that, that would keep me up. Like, how am I going to manage this business as well as my personal?
okay. Yes. So you're like, does that ever go away? Because I don't
I
know.
don't think
I don't think so. Because I'm 11 years in, and I'm like, that's still me every time. So how did you secure your initial funding? Did you use your savings or did you take a loan?
Savings, personal loan, credit cards.
Yes, sis, preach. Me too. Um, and like I said, sometimes it still feels that way.
Yes.
Um, all right. And so right now, what's a typical day like for you as a practice owner?
Typical day, I'm always the first one here. I like to come in, get organized, prior to starting my day, relaxing, listening to all my spiritual stuff before I get started. Um, I just like organization. And then I like being in here by myself. It's so quiet. You turn on all the lights and stuff. And I know maybe it's just like appreciation or gratitude of the day before the
Love,
day starts.
love. Oh my God, what a great practice. And then how many people are on your team right now?
So I have one full time MA. I just recently let one go. So I had two. And then I have like three PRN staff that I utilize.
Oh, I see. Like different days. Why did you decide to do that way?
Because we do health and wellness stuff on Tuesdays and Fridays. So those other 2 days of the week are focused on my like IV hydration, Botox, stuff like that.
Mm,
And so I had to hire some nurses to be able to do that.
gotcha. So you have your primary care practice on some days,
Yes.
and then between that, you have like your wellness stuff.
Yes.
Understood. So you need someone to do IVs and all that good stuff.
Exactly.
Understood. Oh, nice. Okay. Has there been like one habit or system that you've implemented that really changed the game for you, either in your productivity or your sanity?
Sanity, prayer, lots of prayer, three
Love.
times a day minimum. Practicing gratitude was something that I really did not do. And I think, like, as entrepreneurs, sometimes we just don't give ourselves our flowers.
Yes.
And we don't give gratitude for the little things.
Yes.
So there are big milestones, but there's also small things that we achieve along the way. And that's just somebody called for online booking, somebody scheduled today. Like that's a win for me. And so just practicing gratitude, being more grounded, that has really helped me with anxiety. It has helped me to cope better with things. And I think it makes my mind more clear when it comes to decision making.
Tamara, I cannot tell you how much I agree with you. I actually just was coaching someone about this morning. As as entrepreneurs, and I would say this is probably the most spiritual we've gotten on this podcast, but we're here. This is where we need to be right now. Somebody needs to hear this.
Yes,
So the beautiful thing about podcasts is that they could be hearing this a year from now, and the message is meant for
exactly.
them. Um, as entrepreneurs, because we're so forward thinking, we're always thinking about what's the next thing we need to do. And
Yeah.
do not take a moment to pat ourselves on the back,
Mhm.
to be grateful to the universe or to whatever your God is, and just say, like, first of all, look how far I've come. Because whatever it is, it's
Exactly.
far. Whatever it's you might have more you want to go, but you still came far.
Yes.
And then when you're stressed, you could be like, 5 years ago, me wished I had this stress.
Yes.
Like you just let someone go, which is always stressful. But 5 years ago, you didn't even thought you had someone to let go.
Right.
Right. So that is so critical for your sanity as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. It is so, and life, and it actually pushes you forward to look back and reflect and to take a moment. It feels counterintuitive because you should be like, well, go, 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 go. But if you don't take these moments, you just can't move ahead. I'm so glad you surfaced that. It is so true.
Yeah.
It is on the basic things, like, thank you
Right.
that I have water. Thank you that I have a flushing toilet. It gets that basic, right? How many
Yes.
millions of people don't have that?
Exactly.
Gets that basic, and then everything just takes a whole new level. Everything just
Yes.
shifts into place. Oh,
That's right.
so glad you did that. What have you found most effective for attracting patients and for retaining patients?
So attracting patients, I would say like for me has been mostly Google Ads and platforms like that, like the digital type of platforms. Retaining patients, we've been successful just with the way that we provide care, the experience that we provide to our clients keeps them coming back and also has them referring people to us.
I love that. Do you do any systematized, like, retention, calling back, come back for your A1Cs? Do you have, like, systems all set up for that?
Yes. So everyone leaves with an appointment.
Nice.
It doesn't matter if you came in for an annual physical, whatever. Everybody leaves with an appointment before they go. And then our system, our EHR, automatically will call, text the reminders so that they remember to come in.
I really love the ridiculous simplicity of that sentence. Everyone leaves with an appointment.
Yes.
Really that simple.
Hmm.
Even if it's next year, you could cancel.
Right.
It's fine. They're just going to call you and remind you.
Exactly.
Everyone leaves with an appointment. Period. Full stop. It's
Right.
so simple, Tamara. You have, like, all the pros today. You're hitting me today. Um, what do you think makes your practice different than the other practices around you?
I thought about it recently, and it's when I first started my practice, my cousin said, "Oh, you're gonna put that practice right there. There's so many other providers around you. I don't think that's a
Hmm.
good location."
Hmm.
Whatever God has for you, He has for you. It's yours. But I don't worry about competition. I worry about myself. I'm
Correct.
my own competition.
Correct.
Yeah. So the difference is the patient experience. Everybody who comes here feels like a family member. They feel like they've been heard, they've been appreciated, and we really listen and we try to go above and beyond to make sure everybody feels comfortable when they come.
Oh my God, I love this so much. And so you have the patient part unlocked, no question. How do you manage the business side?
Business side, I love webinars. I'm working on building networks and things like that for like just support. I think entrepreneurs need ongoing support or
Mhm.
networks to kind of hear what other people are going through. So, like Facebook discussion boards and things like that, I'm all over reading what people are going through. And if I can help, of course, I'm going to respond. Um, but I just like it's an ongoing learning process because we're nurse practitioners. I didn't go to business school. I don't have a business
Yeah.
degree or anything like that. So you kind of learning on the fly. I've had mentors for different things, managing finances, building a practice, all those things. So I just try to keep learning.
Yeah.
That's what keeps me grounded, and that's what keeps me like trying to move to the next level or help me move to the next level.
You brought up some really good points because I think when you own your own business, it's just you and you, right? There's no more colleagues. You're at the top of the food chain in your own little bubble.
Yeah.
You have no one to ask, and it can get really isolating.
Yes.
Um, and being part of networks is so important. All different kinds, right? It could be,
Yes.
you're right. There's so many different things, and all of them are great. It's one of the reasons I joined Duet, precisely because there's NP stuff and then there's state stuff. But to have some that's just for business owners was really unique. So this brings me back to what I asked you earlier. So how did you hear about Duet?
Facebook. Somebody posted a question like, "Has anybody ever dealt with Duet?" And I was like, "Duet? What's
Who's
that?"
Duet?
Yeah, so I did a little research, and the rest is history.
That's awesome. So then you came on Founders. We hung out there for a while. But what were you doing on Founders? You already had an established practice.
I don't know.
Okay,
I
it
I,
was just your way in.
I just the only thing I did was filled out the application, a little questionnaire, and then I had a meeting with you.
Yes, that's right. You're so good. So basically, for those listening, we have a few ways to get into Duet. You could, just directly just book a consult. By the way, anyone listening, I don't sell. I'm not a salesperson. I don't make money when you connect. Um, the other way for people who are just starting out, which is why I asked you, is we have once a month, we have these founders groups. I run those groups. And that's for people who are either in the beginning or who are like under 100 patients because they have a certain unique set of issues that someone in your shoes no longer has, right? You don't have
Okay.
credentialing questions anymore. You don't have, right? You have new questions.
Yes.
For you, Tamara, we just started a new group, which I think you should join, which is run by two of our larger NP-owned practices. One of them is the Women's Health NP I was telling you about. And
Okay.
so they're starting monthly groups for those who are a little bit more advanced in their NP business journey. And you will love that because it's a great place. Anyone listening, just know we have and then we have one group for those NPs who are doing house calls because they have a unique set of issues. So
Okay.
3 different groups now: house calls, founders, scalers. You'll be in scalers. It's free. Just show up, ask your questions, and you have 2 people who are just there to. Well, scalers are only for people who are already in Duet, like yourself, but
Mhm.
founders is open for anyone.
Okay.
So if you know a colleague or anyone that's like, I have places to ask, you can come. So that's great. So then you got to do it and Duet. The rest is history. I don't usually ask this, but I'm just going to ask it. What has your experience been like? What works for you working with Duet?
Data. I love the data that I get. As we talked about earlier, once you're an entrepreneur, you're in your own bubble, you're in your own zone. You have so many different tasks and things to follow up on or just, see after. And then with Duet, they just put it all on paper for me and just makes it like so crystal clear about the health of the business and how it's growing and things like that. And I really appreciate learning about my business in that manner.
I am so with you. That was such a clear answer as well. Like for me, it's the data also. I use it to help me also because I have a few NPs to help me know how they're doing comparatively. I would never be able to generate that data on my own, ever, like in a million years. That is so awesome. What's the best piece of advice that you've received about running your own practice?
Don't give up.
Period. Just keep going.
Keep going.
What are your goals for your practice?
My goals are to eventually get to that need of 5 days a week for primary care. I would love to hire another nurse practitioner to kind of take those other days for me, the Tuesday and Friday, so that we can keep that revenue generating. But overall, I just want to grow, scale. I never thought about having multiple locations until I linked up with Duet. So, like, I have tons of dreams and
I
goals
love
and
it.
things in my brain.
Sis, if anyone could do it, it is you. Oh my God. All right. We have 3 more questions.
Okay.
First, what is a fun or surprising fact about you that most patients or colleagues don't know?
Fun. I love to look at real estate. I love looking at houses. I do that in my pastime.
No way.
Yeah,
You buy any? You just look at it.
I just look at them
You
for
are
now.
so interesting. I want to go out for a steak dinner with you. That's awesome. If you were not I think I know the answer now. If you were not an NP, what would you be doing?
If I was not an NP, I mean, I used to work in the OR.
Girl, I thought you were going to say real estate agent.
No, I love the OR. Like, the OR is so fun. I love surgery. So if I never became an NP, I would probably still be working like a registered nurse in the OR.
In the OR. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then our last question is, what piece of advice do you want to give to our audience that's listening?
If you have a dream, go for it. I have so many people tell me this is not the time to open a practice.
Oh, they're so wrong.
This is not the time to do X, Y, and Z. And I just stepped out on faith, and then here I am, 7 years later, still open, still enjoying my life. Everything has its struggles, everything has its challenges, but I don't let other people's beliefs sit on my shoulders. Like, it is what it is. You just get out there, try, keep going. You'll be surprised what happens.
I love it. That is so awesome. Oh my goodness. Tamara Washington, thank you so much for being here with us.
You are very welcome. Thank you.
Well, that's a wrap for today's episode of Unsung. If this inspired you, share it with another NP who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It helps more NPs find us and fuels the movement. Want to join the largest NP practice network? Learn more about Duet on our website, joinduet.com. Until next time, keep pushing boundaries and proving what NPs can do.